So this one's a very interesting one because right now there is these rumors going around, okay, or speculation, shall I say, around Rob and Sophie's relationship. And here's the thing. Right now, the impression is that Rob and Sophie are no longer together. But then there's a twist. And this is where things get even more interesting. Now, right now, as you can see, he provided us by Reality TV Mess. Count your blessings. None of the little shit is worth your peace. So obviously here, this is Rob, doing what Rob does best, just speaking a whole lot of XYZ on social media. And also there's an article that's shared here about, well, when it comes down to it, Sophie split from Rob and filming for next season of 90 Day The Single Life. This is something that was published literally 4 days ago, okay? So obviously right now, this is the speculation around these two rumors are swirling that Sophie has kicked Rob to the curb and is already filming for the new season of a 90 Day Fiancé. But this is where it gets even more interesting now, because you see, at first I was like, you know what, this is probably what happened, to be honest with you, because I do genuinely believe more and more that I watch Sophie, the more and more I watch her, the more I started to believe that she's with him purely because she wanted that green card, not necessarily because she actually wanted to be with him. But then we get into this bit here, which gets a bit nitty and gritty. Now, as you can see, this is an image of Jasmine. And it does say that here's Jasmine, definitely at the same Arizona last resort as Sophie. Now remember, the first time we saw the pictures of everybody that was going to be a part of the first season of The Last Resort, we noticed that these people were definitely going to be a part of this season because they were all together. We saw pictures with Kalani and Yara, then we saw some with Elizabeth, with Angela. It was literally one of those things where we were seeing all these people together around the same resort with the rumors of the new show coming on. And then obviously when the show came on, what happened? This is what we saw. But that isn't necessarily just the nitty and gritty. Then obviously here, there's another picture of Sophie. Here is Sophie at the resort in Arizona. Now, here's the thing. I'm not an expert when it comes to, what Arizona looks like or the resort looks like, purely because, well, I'm from the UK. I've never been to Arizona in my life, so therefore I'm unable to really give you guys the confirmation that these two pictures are definitely at the same resort, because as you can see, the backgrounds are are completely different. But of course, the person who decided to make this post, Shabuti, clearly must know about the area. So this is where it gets interesting. Is Sophie and Rob, are they together or are they not together? So then it got me thinking, what about this? This is the only alternative that I can think of. What if the idea is for The Last Resort to appear first? When that appears, maybe by the end of that season, them two are then no longer together because they tried to make it work and it didn't work. And then by then, what happens? The Single Life would then be back on air, literally after another spin-off, and then all of a sudden, boom, bam, we see Sophie. So there is a potential chance that yes, they have broken up, but they may still be a part of the shows, because this is the thing we have to remember, right? These people that go on 90 Day Fiancé, they are given contracts, and from what I understand, some of them are given contracts that can last up to 3 years, and within that timeline, they have a choice to accept to be on any show, whether that be Pillow Talk, whether that be Single Life, The Last Resort, Happily Ever After, you name it, they have the option to be on any one of these shows. Now, if we remember correctly, when it came to the first season of The Last Resort, we saw Kelly, okay, with Molly. Now, we knew that them two already wasn't together anyway. And we also knew that really and truly, their relationship was pretty much done and dusted. But they still brought them back to be on the show, you know what I mean, to at least try and get back together. But the reality is this: each time people come back on the show, they get paid. And generally speaking, depending on who you are, you get paid more each time you come back, because at the end of the day, if you show that you have value of ratings or bringing ratings in, then of course they're going to want to keep bringing you back in, and therefore they're going to continue also offering you money. So there is a chance that easily these two may already be broken up, and end of the day, the reason they've come back for allegedly both The Last Resort and also Sophie coming back for another season of The Single Life, it could due to the fact that obviously they're being paid to play the part. Okay, and then obviously Sophie's then paid to obviously then play the part of her actually being single. So that's the only thing that I can think of, that maybe she's going to be a part of both shows, because let's not act as if that's never been a thing, We always see people be back for shows all the freaking time, and for the most part, sometimes we're like, how are these two still here? These two shouldn't even be together, whether that would be Ed and Liz, you know what I mean, Michael and Angela, oh yeah, that's another one, Kalani and Asuelo. We already knew that those two had already broken up as well, and they wasn't in a good place, because we knew that Kalani had already stepped out and obviously took an opportunity to be with somebody else because of the whole past, and we knew that of course Asuelo had obviously cheated on her. But hey, what happened? them two still came back anyway for the last resort, even though their relationship was completely done and dusted. And also on top of that, they also added Kalani's new man to the freaking storyline. You know what I mean? So really and truly, this could be a case of where, yes, they could be broken up, but they're still under contract, and clearly they both made the choice to still want to be together on the show, at least for the mullah. So there is also that possibility too. But with that being said, though, there's some new information. There's some new information that I do have exclusively that I will be making another video about regarding the future of not just 90 Day Fiancé, but just TLC as a brand. So look out for that video. You know what I mean? That one's going to be juicy. But with that being said, though, let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Do you think these two are broken up and my theory is probably the one? Or do you think all of this is just mumbo jumbo? Let me know what you're thinking. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.